Merkin and the War on Terror. What is its meaning? What is the connection? To understand, we must first analyze what is a Merkin. Simply stated, a Merkin is a pubic toupee. Invented during the 1700s, it was worn by those who suffered genital hair loss, or those who felt that being shaved was more sanitary, and those who wished to mask scars from syphilis and other sexually transmitted diseases. There are Merkin for women and Merkin for men, sometimes called the hairy donut. Generally speaking, people love their Merkin. Many found them to be very fashionable. Although they never caught on in America, they were very popular in Europe. So, how does this affect American politics and the war on terror? President Lyndon Baines Johnson unintentionally brought the Merkin into American public consciousness. Due to his thick Texas accent, LBJ did not clearly pronounce the word American. Instead, he said Merkin. This was the cause of laughter and ridicule by those who knew what a Merkin was, especially when Johnson used phrases like, "I'm a Merkin," and "my fellow Merkins." As a result of this Merkin factor, speechwriters of his time were careful to avoid many phrases during his public addresses. Now on to Bush. No, the other one. Thank you. When President George W. Bush first announced his war on terror, many said, "You can't fight a war on terror. Terror is an emotion. Don't you mean terrorist or terrorism?" The problem was that, like LBJ, President George W. Bush had a thick Texas accent. He did not pronounce the word terror. Instead, he said the word terror. So the word terrorist sounds like tourists. And we would be fighting a war on tourism. The president's speechwriters knew they couldn't have the president saying he was declaring a war on tourists, because what did tourists do? All tourists want to do is visit a few places and buy some t-shirts and go out drinking and dancing. Other than a few occasional mishaps, they were harmless. Completely harmless. And so, because of the Merkin factor, instead of hunting down and killing tourists, President George W. Bush fought his war on terror. Today, the great state of Texas is considering seceding from the Union and becoming its own independent nation. Many people have theories about this. Some believe that it's because they're tired of the rest of us, or perhaps they simply don't like having an African American president. But maybe, just maybe, they're tired of being a Merkin.